Roads? It's the Ernest Hancock Show. Where we're going, there aren't any roads.
I want to break free. I want to break free. I want to break free from your lies. You're so self-satisfied. I don't need you. I've got to break free. God knows.
Yeah, and everybody else knows. I gotta break free. Yeah, well, you know who's going to help me? Paul Antinori from amendusconstitution.org. I'm for amending it with a blank.
No.
Don't fill in blank here, you know. And you know the thing is that it's not that I'm so against making it clearer. I'm not against making it well understood. I'm not against even updating to include things that maybe need to be clarified. But why? I have every evidence in my entire life. I just turned 50, and I claim old enough to know better. And I claim that they lie. They always lie. If it serves the government, it's allowed to be introduced as evidence. If it serves the defendant, it's not. If it serves the government, the judge chooses to believe the law enforcement officer, even when the defendant has a videotape that he's lying. So I'm going, this is to put trust. If you believe that humanity is essentially bad or has a lot of bad people in it, and you need government to protect you against them, well, you have to know that the bad guys are the ones that get in charge of the government. So I'm like, it's like you're enabling them. And I'm going, no. You got to help me out here.
Okay, Ernest, I want to help you out.
Please.
You're manifesting an innate cynicism, I'm afraid. But you know what? So did James Madison, our founding father. He said, if men were angels, no government would be necessary. Right in the Federalist Papers, I quote, unquote, just that you quoted.
Well, I go the anti-federalist where you say, men are bad, so don't give them a government.
Well, yeah, but we can't just stop and just say and give up hope because of that situation.
I don't give up hope.
You're always going to have evil men. So what do?
You have faith in people.
What I propose, Ernest, is to hang the sword of Damocles over these men's heads, these politicians. Corrupt politicians at times.
Okay, there has been that proposal. Okay, there has been that proposal, Paul. I'll tell you, there's a gentleman named L. Neil Smith. He's a science fiction writer and a prominent libertarian philosopher, and he always says we need Bill of Rights enforcement. And what he was saying is that there needs to be in the Constitution or amendment or something, when they violate your rights, there has to be some kind of a punishment. There has to be some kind of punitive action when they...
Impeach them. Supreme Court Justice.
Who impeaches? His buddies in the chamber impeaches?
Supreme Court Justice Samuel Chase was impeached.
By who?
President Andrew Johnson was impeached.
By whom?
Wasn't successful.
By whom?
By Congress, which has the
I rest my case.
By the U.S. Senate. Huh?
I rest my case. I don't get to do it. The people don't get to do it.
Yeah.
It's
you can't be
scum
cynical,
number one.
Ernest, you got to be optimistic.
I am optimistic about people. I am very representative of the free market. I'm the only purpose government has. Declaration of Independence made it very clear. The only purpose of government is defense of individual rights. If they're counter to that, it's your right, duty, alter, abolish. Boom, end of story. I'm good. That's it. That's right there. They're not doing it. Next.
I believe in that. I believe in free enterprise, believe in free markets. I abhor big government. I don't know of any way to correct it except a constitutional convention to amend the Constitution. It's the only thing that's going to catch the attention of these people in Washington. That's going to cause a reverberation throughout the land like nothing we've seen before. They propose these silly little amendments, balanced budget. I shouldn't say silly, but in comparison to what I'm proposing, it's like shooting at the Leviathan with a BB gun, and I'm proposing a howitzer cannon.
Okay, now let's go ahead and say you're successful and we have your convention.
And 33 states.
Then somebody's going to come up and they're going to say, well, we want to tinker a little bit here, and here's this United Nations plan, de la, whatever it is.
Yeah, well,
and
won't happen.
Oh, they're going to try.
Well, they'll try, but it's got to go. It'll never happen.
So what verbiage would you put in, say, the Second Amendment that would make it more clear? I mean, the First Amendment to make it more clear.
The First Amendment? The First Amendment, I would not tinker with the First Amendment. Now, you mentioned about freedom of speech.
Then why am I in a free speech zone?
No, but you mentioned free speech, and we've had Supreme Court cases like the Venerable Oliver Wendell Holmes, who you're well familiar with, who said you can't shout fire in a crowded theater, and that was the famous U.S. v. Schenck case in 1917. And so he actually said they could restrict free speech and put Schenck in jail for denouncing the government. That's what he was doing. Can you imagine that happening today?
Yeah,
okay?
Patriot Act.
Yeah, I mean, we just had Senator John Kerry from Massachusetts say that we ought to muzzle, and I think he was referring to the Tea Party people, but he said we ought to muzzle these people on the right who are always complaining about government spending and government's too big. He actually said that the media ought not to give them any attention whatsoever and never quote them, and we ought to muzzle them. That's what Senator Kerry said. I could not believe my ears. A United States senator, I mean, doesn't he know about the First Amendment? It's incredible.
If he wants to muzzle all he wants, that's a private thing if you own the media and so on, but it's not. It's licensed by the government. The government says you can or cannot broadcast in the public interest, whatever the heck that means. And then you have so many things, even where started in the Clinton administration, you didn't have to do public service announcements if you made part of your sitcom the message that they wanted.
Correct.
And I'm going, this is, so you cannot come up with a situation, Paul, that you could have something in the Constitution that's going to stop them from doing exactly what they want to do. You can't do it.
Try. Ernest, we got to try. I don't care what you say. I'll accept what you say, but it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop me, and it shouldn't stop you.
No, you're not stopping me.
We've got to try. We've got to do something an alternative to doing nothing.
Okay, I'm going to throw a little bit, the audience knows, and I'm going to share something with you you probably don't know, you understand. I'm the one that came up with the Ron Paul Revolution logo. That Ron Paul Revolution started here in Phoenix with us, and it exploded. I saw what happened. I was intimately involved. I wouldn't have anything to do with the actual campaign. I wouldn't have anything to do with politics. I don't even vote. But I knew that his messages needed to be heard. And so to think that I sit on my hands and do nothing, not true. But if I'm climbing really fast, really high on the ladder against the wrong wall, I'm just wasting my time.
No, you're not.
It's a wrong wall, man. Yay, I'm on top of the wall.
No, listen, we are all passengers on the same ship of state, Ernest. If that ship goes on the shoals and is foundering and begins to sink, we are all passengers on that ship.
Everybody wants to save the ship of state. They never want to save the people. They're so concerned about the ship. I'm just to get the Carpathia over here and just let me off.
No, the people are in it. They are the passengers. And
I want off.
And that includes the strong and the entrepreneurs and the young and the vibrant, as well as the poor, the sick, and the needy. The hackneyed mantra of the people on the left that are always using that as their talking point, playing card. Of course, we love those people. We want to take care of those people. But America also consists of the strong, the captains of industry, the engines that keep the economy going. We got to save those people, too. That's the golden goose.
They're saving themselves. They're getting off the ship. And would you prevent me from getting off the ship? You got the border guards going to keep me in America as much as keeping everybody else out?
No, don't get off the ship. We need you. We need people like you.
Are you going to make me stay on the ship?
I'm not going to make you do anything, but I'm begging you to stay on the ship.
You can beg me all you want, but without a gun in my face, please.
No, I'm asking you to help us organize a constitutional convention. I'm telling you, if we have a constitutional convention of the people and put the Constitution back in the people's hands, a lot of the ills and the evils and the undesirable things you've been talking about will go away.
I think they'll manifest themselves. All right, Paul. Well, it was a pleasure talking with you, man. We had a good time going over this.
Great. It's been an honor.
Yeah, give you a little bit of something to think about, just another perspective. I go hard on you because I just want you to know there's a whole bunch of people that, my age and younger that are going, next. Yeah, we're done, man. I mean, how many examples do we need? Done. And they are not there to defend my individual rights. They'll sit there, and instead of defending my rights, they're going to protect me and give me security from the evil, bad people that want to kill me because I got too many rights. Well, they took them all away, so I guess I'm not in threat anymore. So I'm just, nah. Well, if we start going further down this road, can we call on you, Paul? We'll talk about it?
Absolutely. I'd be honored.
All right, thanks a lot. Paul
Thank you, Ernest.
Antinori from AmendUSConstitution.com for those that are so inclined. We'll be right back here on Declare Your Independence in just a little bit after the top of the hour news.